We have to work because I think that, you know, we together in Europe, the war is in Europe, and America is far from the invasion. And I think that we need to share more details because, to my mind, there are a lot of different voices around new American administration, and I'm not sure that all these voices on our side. That's why we have to work with these people, even with some Europeans, as I said. Yeah. If I was understandable, I don't know, yes, about Mar-a-Lago, about there, yeah.
It was clear.
It was clear, but I want to repeat it, yes. It's important for them to be clear.
Do you want to name names while we're at it?
I know names, of course. I'm not sure that it's, yeah.
Let's just get back to President Trump. At a press conference...
You said about Orban. Oh, sorry.
Do you understand?
No.
Viktor Orban is what the president was saying. Mr. President, Trump was asked whether he trusted Putin. And he sort of basically ended up saying, on this, I do. But he has also said that, and frankly, it's quite difficult to extract what all the different administration officials have been saying. On the one hand, potentially that, you know, maybe Ukraine had a responsibility for this war. Maybe Ukraine can't ever expect to get back. It's unrealistic, according to the defense secretary, its territory. Maybe Ukraine will be safe and independent. Maybe it'll be part of Russia. Do you understand what America's position is?
Yes.
Which is?
I think, to my mind, they are preparing atmosphere for their dialogue.
For their dialogue, which will be?
For the dialogue between Trump and Putin. And I think this is, I mean, it's up to them, but they can discuss everything they want, but not about Ukraine without us. And that's why, in this case, especially in this case, I think it's a little bit dangerous. That's why I said that we need to talk more with the president and to talk more with his people, with his teams. Yesterday, as you said, yes, we had good conversation, and I think that I opened some new details for vice president. That's why I said we need. It's not waste time. It's really very important, I think, diplomatic investment for the future, just and lasting peace for Ukraine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going to say some more things.
Your order.
Yeah. You just sort of, I suddenly got flummoxed.
I'm sorry.
You said Putin doesn't want peace. I mean, you just said it loud and clear here.
It's true.
So what is the dialogue? And have you convinced the Americans that A, Ukraine has to be at the table, and B, I guess the Europeans have to convince them that they have to be
on all the levels, we directly, yes, very directly send these messages that we have to prepare security guarantees like a main part of the stopping Putin and stop this war, and very important, essential, and we said that it can't be without us, and that's why I don't know if we don't have, from my point of view, if we don't have for today common plan, it means for me that United States doesn't have. Because if they have something, it's not about us. I mean, this about something new, but we don't want this new reality. Yes. So that's why,
I was just asking you whether you have convinced them that you must be at the table.
Of course I said that I think that is good, that first of all we have to make a plan with you, I said to the president. It was the day when he had phone calls with Putin and with me, and first with him and then with us.
And how did that sit with you?
No, I said that...
But first with Putin and then with you?
Oh, I'm not happy. Yes, but I think that more dangerous if first meeting will be with Putin and then with Ukraine. And there are things I shared with the President Trump, that first of all, we have to see common view. And I said also that at the table, we need Europe also. It's very important for us. We are Europe, we in Europe, and we see our future only in EU, like a member. So that's why for us it's very important. And Europe helped us a lot. Because when I speak with different officials of the United States, of new administration, and we're thankful for them that they didn't frozen their military support. It's very important, and I'm very thankful, thanks again. But when we speak, I really understand what part of support did America during these 3 years, and what huge support made Europe. And it's important.
Did you get a commitment from President Trump that you would meet with him first? Do you have a plan to meet with the president?
No, we have our plan, of course. It's our country, and that's why it's our plan. I think it's understandable, but we need the common view. That's why we are ready for the common plan. Yeah. And I shared it with...
I'm just asking whether, because President Trump says he'll meet Putin maybe in Saudi Arabia maybe soon, has he said he will meet you?
He said to me that we have to meet, and I said to him also we have to meet. I think that I said first that we have to meet. Yes, and but we understood each other, because I didn't say about it once.
You said it several times.
Yeah, so that's why I think we understood each other, and it's very important. Yes, because if we can repeat the words that each day we have losses, and if President of the United States or other leaders repeat these words, Ukraine has losses, we have to stop the war. I mean, that it meant that we have urgently to meet if we really want to stop. To meet with the concrete dates and days and plans.
So you talk about losses, obviously heavy losses. You mentioned Russia's heavy losses as well. Yeah. You were talking to President Trump, and you know that last year, around this time last year, it was President Trump and his allies in Congress which delayed for approximately 7 months the aid that was meant to come to Ukraine. When I spoke to General Syrskyi, your commander in Ukraine, just a few months ago, he said the delay in aid did cost lives, cost territory, and cost a lot of, strategic effort in Ukraine. Did you mention that to President Trump?
No.
I see.
We spoke about delaying and about decision of the Congress, and at least positive decision. I was thankful to him. It was in September when we had meeting during his election period. I think so, or before the election period. I don't. Before, a little bit before. Yes. So it was very important, the decision. I was thankful bipartisan support, and also Mike Johnson, he made positive decision. And also to President Trump, because if he wouldn't be supportive, they couldn't vote this decision. But really, help, which we needed very much, still is going. I mean, not everything came. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So it's very slow, and I think General Syrskyi was right that one of the reasons why we lost, but I don't want to speak about kilometers, but I'm ready. I mean, we lost about 4,000 square kilometers. Yes, but of course, if the help could come, very quickly, everybody understand that the losses was. I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
We could be in more good conditions.
And precisely because of where you would need to be to have a negotiation to end the war. That's why I ask you this. So you talked about security guarantees. What details do you think about? What would be a security guarantee apart from joining NATO right now? What would be a security guarantee in any ceasefire, or to freeze or monitor any line of contact, which is some 1,300 kilometers long? Because already Defense Secretary Hegseth said there'd be no US troops. We don't know what it looks like. What do you think it looks like?
More strong sanctions, not if they will invade again, just more strong sanctions at the very beginning. Then, like you said, a really difficult to hold the border, long border, big, yes, for Ukraine and Ukrainian soldiers. That's why we need big army. I shared it yesterday. Yes, we need army more than now. If we're not in NATO, then, as I said, NATO has to be in Ukraine. It means only one, that we will need the army comparable with soldiers of Russia. It's 1.3 or 1.5 million soldiers, so we need money for this, the package of money, real money, and it's big deficit even today for us is 40 billion per year. So this money and then weapon and the package of missiles, what was written in the victory plan, the package which we will not use, but it has to stand on our territory. And if Putin will begin new invasion, we will use it. So I think these issues are very important. This is priority.
And foreign troops, European troops?
Yes, we are open for this initiative. Yeah. We understand, I mean, mostly we understand the details, but we need to discuss these details with leaders. I don't want to be now, very loud about it. So, but we understand that we need it. It will help us.
And one other big question, the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, came to your country. Yeah. I believe essentially gave you a notice that this is what the administration wants in terms of how much of your rare earth minerals. Trump himself has said, I want $500 billion worth, and that would be fair, he said. What is your response to that? I know you've been talking about rare earths even under the Biden
administration. We're still talking.
Yes. So where do you stand on that?
We're still talking.
Mm-hmm. So not 500 million.
That's half in our history. There have been a lot of different dialogues with different American administrations. Even from my first year of my term, from 2019. So I had a lot of different dialogues, and we are in process.
Finally, I want to ask you, follow up on what Ambassador said in his introduction. The political situation in Ukraine. You've been in power for a long time. There's martial law. You haven't had elections since then. Your mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko, has criticized you for that and for many other things. Putin himself calls you illegitimate. He says, I'm not going to negotiate with an illegitimate president. What is your view on when the time will be right for actual elections? During ceasefire talks, after a ceasefire, or what?
Interesting what Klitschko said about me. I really didn't.
Your opponents, I'm telling you what your opponents, and some members of civil society.
Okay. No, I'm surprised. I mean that Klitschko is a great sportsman, but I didn't know that he is a great speaker. But I respect him. So I'm focusing on surviving of our country, and I'm doing really all my term. Beginning from different dialogues, as I said to you, continuing with COVID as all of us, but half of my term was COVID. Another half is the war with Putin, or against him. Yes? So this is what really very important. I'm ready, to speak about elections if you want. Ukrainians don't want, totally don't want, because they're afraid, because otherwise we will lose the military law, war law, and our soldiers will come back home, and Putin will occupy all our territory. It will be, because now we're mobilized, now we are one organism, yes, so we are one country. Yeah, that's why it's very important to hold and to save it. And it doesn't matter, we need unity in country. So it's not about, myself. It's about the future of our country. It's about, for today, really, the question is to survive. The question is to save Ukraine, our independence. our people, our homes. And if somebody doesn't like, they can choose another citizenship if they want. They have real estate.
Mm-hmm. Did you
somewhere.
say what? Real estate?
Yeah.
I think I have time for one question from the audience, maybe one or two. Somebody got a question for the president? Apparently not. What is 2025 going to be in Ukraine? Do you believe it'll be the year of peace? And more to the point, do you believe Putin has any intention of allowing a independent, sovereign Ukraine?
We really want peace and we work on it. We will prepare security guarantees like we see. We will share it with the United States and I hope they will share their view. As I said, common view for me is very important to hear all our partners in Europe who helped us, in EU plus, of course, because UK, our partners, big partners, and that's why it's very important to prepare during months all these things, to share it with the President of the United States, to find time for this, to our common meetings, to make this common plan, then to put it on the table for Putin and do everything. That's things what really President Trump, he's strong, he can do. Put sanctions or pressure in any ways, in any case, how he wants. And after that, to stop this war this year, 2025, make a peace in Ukraine. This is our plan. That's what we really want, and that's what we will try to do.
Did you tell, as was reported, President Trump, that Putin is only doing this and agreeing to talks because he's afraid of Trump? Did you tell him that?
Yes. I told Trump that Putin afraid of him. Yes, and he heard me. And now Putin knows.
I shouldn't be laughing, but you do make me smile. So,
we
Mr.
want
President,
peace.
thank you very much.
We have to live and we have to smile
That's
when we
true
have
too.
time,
That
of
is
course.
true.
Thank you.
Дякую. Слава Україні!
Thank you. It's very good. Thank you.